All right, let's have a look at gold first up. Now, last week we said gold to the down. And we said 1440 gold to the down. 1449 actually, gold to the down. Right? And we put a stop loss in. We put a stop loss in there at that purple line. And we said gold to the down. Right?
Yes.
We were right, people.
Yes, we were.
We were seriously right.
Well done.
And have a look at your indicators. Get those high Kanashis out of there. If we're looking at gold for the week, we said down at open 673 pips. So let's bring that into proportion. On $1,000, that's $673 we put into the account on one trade. One trade. All right. What are your thoughts on gold? Let's get gold out of the way first.
To the down. It's still looking to the down.
I agree. I think it's down until it wears that next fractal.
Mark?
Yeah, so I'd be aiming for the fractal.
All right. What I was thinking with gold was I was actually thinking a buy limit. And I was thinking about 1345. Having a buy limit in play going into gold down at 1345.
What's that last point there?
Yeah, where is 1345?
Okay. That's 1320.21. So what I was thinking was about there, 1345 to the up.
That's a good idea. It's below the 1350. Can you squish it in, David?
Squish.
See where the history is of the next
Point is down there.
Yeah.
So the next point,
After that, there's no man's land.
there's no man's land from roughly there onwards. So roughly 1310.
Yeah.
There's nothing below it. There's just.
Why 1345 to go back up?
All right, Andrew. See the level of resistance that we've got across here?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a level of resistance that pretty much comes in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right? So I was thinking of taking the trade all the way down to the next level of resistance.
yeah.
This candle here is a very long spiky candle. So what I'm looking at is that this has had a very strong movement to the down in one go. So I'm not looking for it to redo that movement before I come in. So the 1345 was based on the last level, the level of resistance over to the left, and it was then designed as a buy limit order. So if it does then come down for the week, that's fine. I catch it on the way down to go to back to the up. Now, the only danger is if it continues to the down. If it continues to the down, I'm absolutely snookered.
What's the production price for gold? Would that come into it?
Production price at gold at the present moment is $13.25 an ounce.
So below that, they're seriously affecting their...
They're seriously affecting their bottom line.
What's the reduction price?
$13.25.
$13.25.
I think that's an excellent idea because I'll be looking at getting, dropping a bit further and then heading north again. I agree.
Because that's what it's done there with the massive drop that it did
Right.
from
Go on, Mark.
To another option.
the point there for the down is that the fractal didn't appear.
No. No, it hasn't. So it's still got more legs to the down.
So,
See, if you're looking at your guppy, there's no up in that guppy. Now, the only thing that's got me is this. See how it's closed in the bottom third of the candle? Traditionally, it can go up from that point. And that's what I'm looking at. But that's only the second candle in the run.
Right.
Yep.
See, it's had the retracement. That's only the second candle in the run.
I was looking at that during the week. There's 3 candles.
Yeah, there's lots of threes. Look,
Yeah.
there's threes, fours, threes, fours. So I'm still thinking that's strongly to the down.
for at least another week.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is, okay, several weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I went to 13.25. It did not like that and bounced basically back up. That's where we've got that spiky candle. So what I was thinking was taking it pretty much almost down to that level and then taking it back up to the buy.
Would you place the buy at 13.25 then? The buy limit instead of 13.45?
Look, Andrew, there's actually legs to place the buy limit at the bottom of that fractal down there.
That's what I was thinking.
And just taking it all the way up from that level. That would actually be a safer call. But if we're working on, okay, let's just work on that scenario. If we're working on that, we shrink that in, our stop loss is 1, 2, so our stop loss now becomes one, two. So our stop loss becomes down to there. $12.68. Our entry is $13.25. Up like that. So that gives us our 2 count back on our stop loss. Any other thoughts on gold with this one? Yeah.
How to best trade that well?
Well, that is also why I didn't want to go down to 13.25, and that's why I wanted to go down to about 13.45. Because if it does go down, I can absorb that shock, and that was why I wanted to go in at roughly 45. I'll go into 30. I'll go 13.30. I think I'm happy with that. And that was what I was actually looking at, was the fact that it has had a very long bounce. So anywhere down there, that was where I was looking at taking it to the up on a thing. So overall, what are we thinking?
Gold to the down.
Gold to the down.
Yeah, down. High
Annette,
limit.
gold to the down. Yeah.
High limit.
Buy. All right. So what do you think? I'm thinking buy limit at 13.30. What do you, Mark?
61.5 dozen the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much the same.
Yeah, I think 13.45 of it, if it goes there,
Yep.
and then it goes back and brings that buy in, and it's still got further to go down after that.
The question would be equity.
Yeah.
Well, with the stop loss, the 13.45 stop loss would be still 12.68.
That's why I was saying if I put it in at, if I put mine in about 13.25, 13.30,
Yeah.
that's going to be closer to any. It comes in a bit later.
Yeah.
And I get more of a movement back.
Yeah, look, 13.30 entry and a stop loss at 12.68. All right. Well done at picking them last week. So we had a good look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Just went down seriously all week, didn't it?
Sure do.
Very good.
All right. So that is our gold video out of the way. So let's just stop that one.